Very good. So, here we are. Here we are. I hope everybody's having an incredible day today. And unfortunately, I can't see you because of this update in some software today. And I might be frozen for a moment. So I hope it updates soon. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let's finish this up real quick. Am I frozen? Hi, Tamana. Hey, can you let me know if I'm still frozen? Am I still frozen? You're frozen. Yeah. Vanessa says I'm frozen. All right, let's see. Our technology is not being friendly. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay, my loves. So it's so awesome to be here today. And today is an interesting day numerically. It's an opening, an alignment, an activation is available. And so tonight, I would like to work with you in moving through any of the heavy, stagnant energy that has not allowed us to move in to a more fluid, more connected, more authentic self. And I've noticed that a lot of my clients are having some problems with this. It's feelings and heavy emotions that are feeling very difficult to move through, almost as if we're moving through some kind of gooey substance emotionally. And so we know that this time was coming for a few years now in terms of how energetically we are moving through the universe. This entire multiverse that we're a part of is constantly rotating, moving, and as it moves through that natural ascension, that natural expression, we are, in a sense, the vibrational frequency of this overall creation is entering its peak point. And when we enter these peak points, things begin to speed up. So our ability to manifest becomes quicker. We experience it more. The parts of us that are having a hard time moving through heavy emotions have an opening. Any parts of us that are still in a state of resistance and denial, parts of us that are holding on to blockages, this is where we begin to embody these limitations. So what makes it hard to face those difficult emotions is a resistance, coming into a state of vulnerability and complete truth of seeing those things as they really are, and truth of acknowledging those darker aspects that we're seeing outside of us within us. Because once again, as one consciousness connected to everything that happens outside of us is a direct reflection of what's happening within. So our ability to look at the darkness we see outside that begins to trigger anger, resentment, frustration, feelings of helplessness, is an opportunity once again for you as infinite consciousness inside of this fractal, this little human body that you have, that is a temporary experience in order to experience that duality that we're here to enjoy for a moment. So if you begin to shift your perspective from looking at things as painful, suffering, and begin to look at them as opportunities to explore and experience both light and dark of everything that is available, that is a mirror reflection of yourself, we begin to see ourselves in the things around us. And a lot of things that are triggering us right now are parts of ourselves. And sometimes it takes a little digging. It takes a moment for us to sit in silence, sit with those emotions in order to really, really understand what is it that's being triggered in that moment, in that emotion. So the work that we want to try to get into, and that's feeling difficult now, is the ability to come in to those difficult emotions that are being triggered and sit with them, work with them, speak to them in order to allow the messages that they bring to surface. all of the information that is coming up, because you are the one actually co-creating the experiences. From our subconscious mind, we are reflecting externally, and because of our resonance, because of our vibrational frequency, we are emanating those beliefs inside out into the world. Now, the multidimensional body, when we are completely in a state of survival mode, or we are angry and stressed out, the entire body goes into a state of survival, okay? So everything becomes affected. As you can see in this image, we are holding on to our vibrational frequency, but when we come into states of fear, of anger, of self-protection, of denial, literally our entire multidimensional body becomes affected by that. So we create tears in our auric field, because the emotion that you're feeling within the body is so strong that oftentimes, of course, it creates a chemical reaction in the body, but it begins to create an imbalance in the natural balance that's within the body. So this is now holographically projected outward into your multidimensional body. And so the multidimensional body, the external layers become fragmented, they become broken, they become open, they become very vulnerable. And vulnerability, the idea of being vulnerable, is because we're coming from a place of fear. We are rejecting our own consciousness, which means we're rejecting our own awareness of our ability to be in an empowered state in that moment of emotion, in that temporary experience of that emotion, which is what that's for. It's to educate us and inform us on the plethora of different emotions that we're here to explore. But we get caught up. We get caught up on one emotion or another emotion. So the multidimensional body then becomes completely shattered. And so this is where we begin to take on a lot of things in the body that don't belong there. Okay? Or, well, it's in resonance. It's there, and it's not that we ignore that it's a part of us. It's a direct reflection of what we attracted into our space, because our vibrational frequency is a match to those things. So we attract those things into our experience. So how can we begin to work on those aspects of ourselves that need to be healed and removed? The multidimensional body, let me show you something. The multidimensional body has different layers to it. When we come into this state of alignment globally, universally, where we have these powerhouses of energy and celestial bodies moving, just the same way that when we move heavy energy through the body, we create openings for more life force to enter the physical body. Universally, globally, and on this planet Earth as one whole organism, and ourselves a part of that whole organism, we also are moving, shifting what this entire globe is experiencing collectively. So when opportunities like today, for example, which is an energetic opening that is available to us, what happens is that it allows for more of that heavy vibrational frequency through the body to move through. And today's special energy is not just combined with that, but also the vibrational frequency that is being affected by the waves of the sun, of the imprints of the sun, whether it's the resonance that's being emitted from the sun, is encoded with vibrational information that we have the ability of absorbing into the body. And so when that happens, healing can happen. What is healing? Our awareness of becoming whole, our ability to become whole. So if you look at this chart here, the different layers of the body are holding massive amounts of information. All of these things are holographically projecting information of everything that you are within your chakra system, everything that you're made up of. All of your life experiences are mirrored within this space. And so we have the ability of moving through whatever stagnant emotion has been coming up over the past couple weeks. And so collectively, the message right now is the ability to come into a state of the embodiment of unconditional love, coming into that unity consciousness, which means that you allow yourself to be everything and at the same time nothing, which means that we're not judgmental of our darkness, and we are embracing that as a part of us embracing the light of us, embracing the darkness of us, so that we can create balance. And therefore, when we express from that place of complete integration of everything that we are, there, the vibrational emanation that you give off as a whole becomes a very empowered state. It becomes very healthy, very balanced. And it's not just a mental, emotional, physical thing. It's your entire body that begins to come back into alignment. So we want to work with the light, the code, the pillar of light that runs through this body. This body, as you can see in the chart, we have a main code of light, the main lighting pillar of light that goes through the center. It's a meridian center core of light that connects down to the center core of the earth. It's like an access point that connects all the way up to source. And we have another one that goes through the center core of the body that literally goes around the entire planet Earth, the entire system that we are a part of here. And so what we do is we use these as, you can utilize them as channels to bring in more life force into the body or clear out stagnant energy out of the body. So the work that we want to do today is to help us learn how to do that. Okay, how to move that heavy emotion, utilizing the tools, understanding how the body works so that we can begin to heal this body. And so here's a couple things that are going to happen as you move the energy through the body. Because the layers of the body are also interconnected with the layers of the earth, when it comes to activations like today, we are opening gateways of information that rise up in the higher levels of the body. And today we are activating our 13th, 12th, 11th chakra. Okay, we're going to work with the 11th dimension, which allows us an ability to come into the higher soul. It allows us to read above, in between the Akashic records, which is the record of this planet, but we are going even beyond that into our higher aspects. So that means we're tapping into the fragments of ourselves that are in future parts of us and also past parts of us, because once again we are living simultaneously in this moment all of those parts of us now. So when we have memories or triggers, we're actually triggering those parts of us. So our ability to work with the emotions that come up is like an invitation to time travel to all of these parts of us that become triggered, because that's what's responding. This is the learned behavior that is responding from trauma. We call it trauma because you've memorized a reaction to this trigger for lifetimes. And throughout the last couple weeks, everything that has been coming up is a direct connection to these aspects and fragments of yourself. So a lot of you, depending on where you are in your journey, when you feel stuck in some of these emotions and it feels like things are getting harder and heavier and stickier to move through, it means that you really need to sit down and meditate. You really need to sit with those emotions, because the more and more you just neglect them or push them down or just ignore them, the more and more they're going to cause resistance in your body. And resistance is a resistance of many things, not just that emotion. You're resisting creation, you're resisting manifestation, you're resisting health. So you have to really think about how it's affecting so many different parts, and it's a domino effect that if we continue doing that over an extended period of time, we begin to create stagnation within the body. Once again, if you look at that chart of the layers of the body, the entire body is storing all of that stagnant information. So we got to be able to move through all of this, okay? And when we do, that's if you want, right? Because there's always the law of free will, which allows you the opportunity to enjoy, if you wish, that suffering, believe it or not. Now, it might seem funny to say something like this, but the fact is that we only see the world where we are at. So if all we know is suffering, if all we know is pain, unfortunately, what we're going to see in the world, what we're going to experience is going to be a direct match to that. So our ability to see if we want to explore other possibilities of that, maybe more joy, more freedom, is a very sensitive and delicate process of becoming completely vulnerable with that pain in order to know yourself through that pain, to know how you respond, the parts of you that feel that are tender in a sense, emotionally, physically, mentally, from the traumas that were created from those experiences. And as you dive into that information, your ability to become aware of what occurred in those circumstances opens up massive amounts of flow of life force through your body. So right now, some of us, we might have blockages in the neck and the heart, and so our life force energy comes in and gets stuck. It can't come in, it can't integrate, and it's like we feel like we can't move forward. So that's going to be demonstrated in every part of your life. So the question is, do we want to continue staying there, or do we want to experience something a little bit different? So I want you to take a look at how we look at the multidimensional body and how the different chakras going all the way up to the highest level. Now I had to just pull this image quickly because I'm not connected to my other drive. But we have thousands and thousands of chakras in the body. Okay, they're reference points is what we call them. Reference points, vortices of information that connect us from one aspect of ourselves to another. So these center points of information allow the life force to move directly through the body. And so when we activate our awareness of these chakra parts of us, when we start working with them, we are also activating within our body the DNA. We are unlocking aspects of ourselves because we begin to tap into that layer of information. And each one of the layers of the body is interconnected with the layers of the planet Earth. The planet Earth looks much like your body, that it has many, many layers all around it. And it also has an access point, just the way we function. So we create this toroidal field around the body. The Earth as well has a toroidal field around it. So we can continue to cycle energy through. It's when we come into stagnant energy and information that we can't move that energy through us. So what we're going to do today together, I'm going to guide you through this practice, is we're going to be taking a look at how we can move through this stagnant information in the body. I want you to take a look at some of the emotions that have been coming up over the past couple weeks that have been really hard to move through. And I want you to sit with them with me. We're going to create a really safe space for us to move with them, because this is the valuable part of the energies like this. These alignment numbers, these numeric openings of opportunity are precisely for the work. It's not so much about we are constantly moving in and out of beginnings and endings. So some people think, oh, this is a gateway opening and it's the end of the, that's it. It's the beginning of something and we're going to be selected by vibrational frequency. I see these kinds of things all the time. And I don't believe in that. I think that we are constantly moving in and out of dimensions, and we are always having the opportunity to choose how we want to continue co-creating. Things are speeding up galactically, yes. And the alignment of these celestial bodies allow for more fluid energy, more flow of that life force through the universe and through our bodies. So when these things happen, we have to take that opportunity to do this heavy work that other times can feel really, really daunting, really hard, okay? And lovingly take a moment to connect with ourselves. So I'm going to take you really briefly through that. We're going to be running energy, we're going to be grounding, and I want you to access these sensitive points over the past couple of weeks that have not been feeling like we can move through them, and I want you to sit with them. And when we end the last part of this, I'm going to tap into light language. When we move these massive blockages out of the body, and we begin to pull in, like this picture here on my, I think it's my left for you guys, my right here. When we tap into those, when we move out the energy, that pillar of white light that goes through the body becomes wider, okay? It's our life force, and we bring into the earth a wider range of this infinite consciousness through us. This is what it means to become a pillar of light. This is what it means to embody that powerhouse of consciousness and awareness. So we want to do that because in that powerhouse of light cannot live illness, sickness, suffering, pain. It's the balance of all duality inside out, because it has to be aware of all aspects of itself in order to see itself in that light. Okay, so we got to be able to pull that through. And when we do, we can tap in to other vibrational frequencies like a radio. Now we're tuning the dial in order to be in alignment with these other frequencies. So you can tap into information. I really invite you guys to connect with your higher self today. And we're going to ask for direct messages for what this opening is for us. I want each of you to tap into your ability to channel light language and communication. And I want you to begin to embody that. Okay? I want you to start practicing that. And I'm going to guide you through. I will come in and do an activation. And I want you to tap into your activation. Because the spiritual journey is a very personal one. It's a very specific to your journey and your work. So each person, as an empowered sovereign entity of infinite consciousness, experiencing all possibilities, has to explore and have their own experience through this awakening. You have to channel your messages. You have to bring in that life force energy. So I'm going to take you to that place, and you're going to tap into the energy that comes in for you. And this will be the most healing energy for you at this time, in this moment. So we're holding space for that. So let me just get rid of these images for you. And you can put them up later. I'm going to leave that one up just for us, okay? And you guys can tap into some of that information while you're in. So we're going to begin by inhaling deeply. We're going to ground ourselves down to the center of the earth, anchoring our light, coming fully into this body, breathing deeply, breathing all the way down to the base of the spine. When we breathe, we are moving energy. So our first ability to tap into energy work is with breath. So as you breathe in, you're pulling in life force into this body, into this little physical system. That you exhale anything that does not serve you within the body. I literally want you to feel that you're tapping in to your environment, to your space, becoming aware of itself in the space that you're in, becoming aware of your surroundings. Grounding yourself down to the center of the earth. You're going to visualize your protective field around you, just becoming aware of your energy around you, like we saw in that image, all the different auric fields that were shattered. So I want you to check into yours. What does yours look like? Is yours a nice solid sphere around you? Is it shaped like a sphere or an egg, or what shape does it have? You tap into your energy and see what you are. Okay, making sure that all of those opening spaces that we feel are now closed and sealed. With every breath you take, we are sealing our space. I want you to visualize a symbol that represents the highest vibrational expression for this practice here today, for this time, for this work that we're going to share. That only what's in alignment with your highest expression is available to you in this moment. Breathing deeply. Visualize that symbol. You're going to put it up 360 degrees around your body. Feeling completely in the body, aware, safe. start working with the root chakra. Go ahead and close that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime, disconnecting any imbalance in the root chakra, front and back. Going up into the sacral chakra, the orange light, underneath the navel. You're going to visualize closing that chakra, front and back. And when we close these chakras, we are resetting any kind of imbalanced connections that we have to the world around us, the matrix. And what that simply means is anywhere where we are externalizing our power out, we're just going to, just for a moment, neutralize any of those thought forms that are creating a leakage of our life force out of our body. Any kind of codependent relationships, imbalanced relationships, all of those kinds of things that mirror any false beliefs or imbalanced beliefs within us. We're just taking that back for a moment so we can really check in and see if we want to continue connecting that way. So that's the purpose of closing. You're going to go up to your solar plexus. Breathing deeply, closing that center core, solar plexus all the way down. Now, during these times of great energy, sometimes it feels really difficult to close the chakras. So I want you to really spend extra time closing and focusing on controlling that part of you, okay? Because these parts, oftentimes in these times of stress and chaos, they really become out of balance. And so our entire body begins to go out of whack, and it can cause illnesses or imbalances. So go ahead and close that, especially that emotional. And any time that you guys are feeling overwhelmed and you know, the emotions feel really heavy, this is an incredibly powerful technique to bring yourself back into a state of neutrality, which is exactly what we want to do. So we can observe and then consciously choose what we're in alignment with. If we're only seeing things from a place of pain, suffering, helplessness, disempowerment, we can only attract that same energy back. So we want to change that. Breathing deeply. We're going to go up to the heart chakra now, and we're going to open that heart chakra as wide as possible. The best way to receive life force energy, upgrades, information, codes is by activating your body. So you activate your heart, opening it fearlessly, allowing yourself to receive. Going up into the throat, go ahead and open that throat chakra as wide as possible, opening the center for communication, for expression. Open that chakra. You're going to go up to the third eye, open that chakra. So this is the ones that we want to work with the most during this practice, is the third eye, the throat, and the heart chakra, because we're activating the higher strands of information within the body. It allows us to come into reading state, which means that we can now read and communicate with the non-physical aspect of ourselves. Very good. You're going to go up to your crown. And in your crown chakra, we're going to tap into the highest vibrational expression for you. So now that you're fully grounded, now that you close the first three chakras, I want you to see a blank white screen in front of you. Okay? You should be in a very nice, grounded, and non-emotional state right now. Okay? You're going to go ahead and visualize a blank white screen in front of you. And on that blank white screen, you're going to visualize a color. This color is going to represent your highest vibrational expression. Go ahead and see that. Go ahead letting go up into the crown. And we're going to enter this color into that space, activating the higher levels. And so that looking at the higher levels of the body, the higher chakras, we activate the crown, which just lives right above the crown of our head. This is the information center of creation. So it pulls from everything we are holding within the DNA, and it pulls from everything that we are meant to experience from the higher levels and our experiences. It's the center reference point of communication. So the activation of this point is incredibly important when it comes to manifesting, healing, and transforming. So go ahead and take that color up. This is that radio dial in which we're going to change the frequency now. We're going to see a wheel at the crown of our head. The wheel is connected to every major aspect of your life. We're going to start with our environment. Okay, so go ahead and fill that little part of this wheel with this color. Fill it in. And as you do, I really powerfully want you to breathe in, and with your intention, you are changing the frequency in that entire category of your life to be in alignment with your highest expression moving forward. So this is a great day for you to magnify that intention. Okay? Breathing deeply. Going up to the next part, which is your relationships, family, friends, loved ones. Fill that in. Breathing deeply. The next is your health. Fill that in. The next is abundance. Fill that in. Manifestation, money, creative life force energy. Fill that in. When you master the body, you master the matrix, so you can manifest everything that you need for your highest expression. You're going to go up to the next section, which is your spiritual self. Fill that in. Unconditional love, the awareness of your whole self. Breathing deeply. You're going to go to the final section, which is your purpose. And so many people email me daily about trying to find their purpose. And my love, I'm here to tell you that your purpose is to be everything that you are right now, to embrace it fully. That's the number one thing. So wherever you are right now in your life, I want you to visualize that you're tuning your radio dial of vibrational frequency into a state of complete authenticity, complete acceptance, a state of egoless vulnerability in which you can begin to work with your true self, which should emerge when you enter this space. And that's what we want. So go ahead and visualize bringing that in, creating a vibration from your crown in the color of your frequency. Okay, you're going to see your crown. And it's going to be shining brilliantly with your color now. Now, I'm going to take you into the work that we're here to do today on 11/11, which is tapping in to the new self, the integration of the new self, the fearless self. I want you to begin to work and tap into the emotions that have been very difficult to move through over the past week. Go ahead and see those. What are they? Some of you will know. Very good. Tapping into these emotions, and I want you to select the one that keeps coming up the most. What's the emotion that keeps coming up that's really hard to get through? What's the one that's been holding on to over the past week? Let's tap into that. Okay. So as we feel that emotion, go ahead and notice what emotions come up. And we're going to sit and completely surrender to all the emotions that come up. So allow everything to come up. If you feel that you need to release any emotions that are pent up. Okay. But remember to keep those chakras closed, first, second, and third. So we're coming into a state of learning and observing these emotions. What do they want to do in the body? Notice that. As you breathe deeply, I want you to work with the resistance that comes up. And just every wave of resistance that comes up, you're just going to allow yourself to just let it go. Watch it. Watch what happens. And literally, it's like a wave that it rises and it falls, rises and falls in the body. And all that we're left with is the information that's necessary from that emotion. So what did we learn from that experience? Take a look at that. This is such an excellent day to be working with these emotions because we have an opportunity to flow through them. Breathing deeply. Okay, releasing, letting go. Okay. So by this time you have some more information about those emotions. What I want you to do is I want you to see yourself in those memories in which these emotions take place. And I want you to see yourself at all of the fragments of yourself that have experienced these emotions throughout your life. And today, as we open our space, I want you to tap into fragments of yourself in the past and in the future. You can see them clearly before you. You can imagine what they look like, or you can visualize just lights or parts of you. And they're going to be all in a crowd in front of us, all of these parts of us. What is today highlighting for our evolution? What is the work we do today going to help us open and move through and expand and heal? Take a look at that. And in this awareness, through these emotions, we slowly begin to find light. We begin to see a choice. As you see all these fragments of yourself before you, I want you to surround them in a golden sphere of light. And I want you to ask your higher self, as you are now, I'm slowly guiding you the layers of awareness. And as we go deeper and deeper into this healing, you begin to activate higher aspects of your DNA. So at the level at your which right now, your intuitive self is highly activated. I want you to ask your higher self to provide you with an understanding of all the contractual agreements that you had made to come to this earth at this moment, at this time, in order to be able to transmute them and to overcome them. So go ahead and take a look at those contractual agreements. They're going to be presented to you before you. And I want you to tap into what is the essence of the information in these contracts. What is it that we're here to learn through these experiences? Go ahead and tap into that. And I want you to tap into the parts of you that begin to become aware of the parts that have been resisting. And I really want you to tap into compassion as you see them. What is it that they need? If you can provide them with anything, how can we return to an understanding that everything is a part of us and judgment is not necessary in these experiences? How can we become whole by acknowledging all of these things that have happened, that have caused us pain? Why did we hold on to them? Did they protect us? Did they help us? And if so, who was being protected? Take a look at that. Taking a look at all of the fragments, past and future. I want you to provide your fragments with exactly what they needed. Go ahead and visualize downloading from source, from that pillar of white light that comes through the center core of your body. You download everything that they require in that moment. Tapping in, tapping higher into the higher aspects of ourselves. And go ahead and see that download. Is it a color? Is it a light? Is it words? Is it feelings? You decide how you want to feed these fragments of yourself. And as you feed them, you begin to feel your body become filled as well. Healed. You become aware of the cords that connect you and them. And you can work with them. You can begin to cut them. And when you cut cords, you're disconnecting from these thought forms that no longer serve you because you've become aware. So see the cords within the body. Pull them out. Notice what they're connected to, all the organs, the chakra, all the systems of the body that you can now release. So let it go, out of the body, out of the body. Scanning the body from head to toe, releasing all of these contractual agreements. As you tap in to a new way of feeling. See your fragments before you merge into one. And I want you to inhale deeply, taking that fragment into your body as you become one. Healing your body, integrating the self. Breathing deeply. We're going to take our attention up to the higher levels of the crystalline body. I want you to take your attention up to the 11th dimension. Go climbing up the 8th chakra, going up to the 9th, activating that 9th chakra, activating the 10th, activating the 11th. Visualize that chakra expanding wide. There is a deep connection between the 11th chakra and the root. Anytime that the root chakra becomes out of balance or comes into a state of survival, we are blocking the flow of life force energy through the 11th. The 11th chakra allows the ability to channeled messages from our higher aspect into the body. It's regarding communication, expression, embodiment. So during this time of transformation, we have the ability of entering into higher levels of integration. All aspects of ourselves that we see within others are a mirror of those aspects. And so our ability to move through all the limitations that we see within judgment, within the inability to embody compassion inside out, is the challenge at this time. Everything that we see outside of us is going to trigger feelings of disconnect, of separation. So our ability to see beyond that illusion and come right back into the unity consciousness that everything outside of us is a part of ourselves. It is us. There's nothing separate. There's only one. Your ability to tap in through that 11th chakra. I want you to see that 11th chakra expanding as wide as possible around you. And as you allow yourself to tap into that layer, the overlay of this 11th chakra over the entire earth, I want you to activate and call forth the fragments of yourself that require awareness and healing at this time. Tapping into that. Go ahead and see that. Tapping into the parts of ourself in the 11th chakra. Visualize that overlay from the 11th chakra that connects to all points, reference points around the entire planet Earth. And in this moment, we ask for all the fragments of ourselves that are still laying in different timelines on this planet Earth that are still in a state of suffering. This is our brothers and sisters. These are the extension of our consciousness, of ourselves, fragments that are living within others, other people, places. Family members that we don't know, strangers that we've never even met, are fragments of our own self. So today we call upon those fragments that are within this world. Embodying complete compassion for the parts of us that are still suffering. And noticing what is the most compassionate thing to bestow upon these fragments. What is the most compassionate thing that they need in order to embody the awareness that they are whole, they are complete as they are. Breathing deeply, and as you do, I want you to pull in from source the white light that comes down to the crown. But in this level that we are coming in from the 12th dimension, 13th dimension, down to the 11th dimension, I want you to visualize activating the 11th dimension of your body. Filling that layer of light around your entire body, around the earth, with white light. Almost as if you are pouring some kind of a soft liquid that goes throughout and spreads around the entire overlay of this planet Earth. You begin to activate the parts of you as you allow them to experience this infinite white light. This is non-judgment, integration. This life force energy that is pure creative life force. We are speaking to our own fragments of ourselves that require healing, that require awareness, compassion. not forgetting that we are one organism of consciousness and there is no separation between ourselves and anyone else outside of us. We are one. So as we begin to bring in a powerful ray of that white source light into this earth through the 11th chakra, beginning to heal our fragments. And notice as you look at that layer if you feel any distortions, if you feel any openings, any cracks, and gently you will seal your energetic body on that layer. You will repair any kind of aspects of yourself that are out of alignment on that layer. Feeling the physical body becoming whole, healed. Noticing any ailments within the body that begin to relieve any pain, any stiffness. Bringing in that white light. We're going to pull that white light now that we're completely surrounded in the 11th dimension of the body. I want you to tap into the parts of you that require compassion in order to feel love in this moment. And I want you to provide all of those fragments of yourself, whatever they need in order to feel safe in a state of love. This blissful connection to all things as a part of ourselves. Activate that within the body. Don't be afraid of any part of you that feels resistance, that feels that it needs to be protective. Just gently let that part of you know that you are safe, that you are that darkness, that you are that light, that it's an extension of what we are. And it slowly melts away any fears that we may have in the mind, in the subconscious mind, in the layers of ourselves. So as you begin to bring that white light, we're going to bring it down to the 10th dimension, activating the 10th chakra, the 9th chakra, breathing deeply, pulling from source that white light into the body, the 8th chakra, activating the 8th. And as we bring it more into the physical body, the crystalline light codes of the body begin to activate around the body, coming down into the 9th, activating the 9th, activating, healing that 9th chakra. If it feels shattered or out of balance, bring it back into balance. Going into the 8th chakra, activating the 8th, bringing it into balance. Activating, breathing deeply, bringing in that white source energy, activating. And when you get to the 8th, the center of creation and manifestation, go ahead and activate that chakra. And I want you to feed that white light into the overlay of the 8th chakra, which is the creation, the matrix, bringing healing to the planet Earth. Allowing each living being to embody their free will in order to choose whatever they wish to choose to experience. Holding space for that free will. Holding space for any emotional entanglement and judgment that we have towards those choices outside of us that are a direct mirror of the parts of us that have not accepted those parts yet. So noticing as we bring that white light into the 8th chakra, melting away the parts of us that resist that acceptance of ourselves, that resist, melting away all resistance, all this fear of the dark, fear of the unknown. embracing that unknown, allowing that unknown to be, and gently shining our light on that unknown to become acquainted with it. I want you to visualize the right side of your body becoming illuminated. As you illuminate all the parts that are unknown still within your body, all the parts that are unknown within the body, all the parts that feel uncomfortable, unsafe, that want to protect, that want to hide, we shine light on them, letting them know that they are safe, they are warm, they are accepted. Going down deeper into the heart chakra, healing the heart chakra on the right, allowing the expansion of that white light into that heart chakra, removing any blockages in the right. If you see any cords, I want you to allow yourself to release them. Breathing deeply in our life force into the body, and letting go of anything that doesn't serve you, going down to the organs, releasing anything that's out of balance within the right side of the body, bringing that white light in to restore, to rejuvenate, to regenerate the body, going deeply into the sexual organs, which is very important, the creative engines of this body, bringing in that white light into the sexual organs, creating a vortex of light. Visualize that vortex absorbing from the body any aspects of ourselves that still feel shame, guilt, that are holding on to past parts of ourselves that we have not forgiven or accepted. Breathing in that white light into the body, breathing in that white light into the body. Filling in that space. Whatever we need to release, we are replacing it with white light, turning that light on to that darkness. You're going to take it down your legs now, continuing to have that vortex in the sexual organs pulling from any kind of programs that no longer serve us within the entire system. Removing any blockages of abundance, of creation. Bringing our attention down to the thighs, to the knees, to the feet. Going to the vortex of the feet at the very base of your foot. And just visualize spinning a vortex underneath your feet, opening any parts of us that feel fearful of integrating into this physical plane, that are afraid of embodying powerful light because of cyclical ancestral trauma, because of parts of us that have experienced the witch hunt historically for embodying light. You're going to clear that from the soles of your feet, both of them. Okay, so we're working on the right side right now. Just visualize the earth absorbing out of the body everything that doesn't serve you anymore. Breathing deeply. Breathing deeply, and now anchoring that right side fully into the ground, anchoring that pillar of white light through the body. Breathing deeply. Excellent. We're going to start at the left side of the body, the divine feminine. So go ahead and visualize again, starting at the crown of the head, pulling down into the brain, into the head, coming into the throat, into the neck. Any blockages here within the left side of the body, the divine feminine of you, whether you're a man or a woman, beginning to activate the clearing of this part of our body. Going into the heart, pulling out any cords, any programs that we're tired of repeating and repeating within our relationships with ourselves and others, but primarily with ourselves. Clear that out. Clear it out. Bring in that white light into the body, breathing deeply, anchoring that white light into that heart center, clearing out, coming into a state of vulnerability. Any parts of us that continue to feel anxiety, fear, allowing for yourself to feel that fear for a moment and then letting it go, letting it go. Okay, we're observing all of those heavy emotions that haven't moved through the body so that we can transmute them. And we just come into a state of observation, non-judgmental. This is the state of 0-point liberation that we want to enter. So bringing it into the heart center now, we are unifying the balanced right with the left at the heart. As you breathe deeply, expanding the white light at the center, and you'll notice that your pillar of white light that's around you now has the ability to expand. Okay? So go ahead and visualize expanding that pillar of white light around your body. Really nice and wide as you want. It can be larger than your body, a mile around. You decide. This is your empowerment. Breathing deeply. Bringing it down into the organs, into the solar plexus, into the sexual organs once again. On the left side, healing any kind of parts of ourselves on this left side that feel incomplete, that feel tender due to repetitive trauma within that space. Clear it out. Breathe into that space. Non-judgment and compassion. Pushing it down into the sacral chakra now, into the root chakra. As you visualize that vortex, we are now asking all of the left part of us, the imbalanced perceptions of the feminine, that now we absorb all of those parts of us that we no longer want to hold on to. Excellent. And we're going to allow that vortex inside of the sexual organs to now close, now that it's absorbed and cleared anything out of the body, any kind of blockages of co-creation and manifestation. Pull it out. Now you're going to let that vortex out. It's going to dissolve down into the center of the earth. The earth functions like a recycling mechanism, so it transforms any death into life. Just breathe deeply and push that back down into the center core of the earth, and it will regenerate itself there. Okay, no attachments, letting go of any cords, let go of whatever needs to let go in that space. Okay, opening your body, opening your body. We're going to go down into the left thigh, the knee, the leg, down to the foot. Once again, at the base, at the sole of your foot, activating that cleansing, noticing all of the parts of us that feel fearful of anchoring down into this three-dimensional plane. All of the traumatic parts of us that have been trained to feel that our darkness is shameful, is wrong, is incomplete, and then embracing that part of ourselves as we acknowledge it, non-judgmentally acknowledging that part of us so that we can now integrate in peace, integrate in peace. Breathing deeply, breathe deeply, bring that white light into the body. Breathing deeply into the body. You're going to go down to the perineum. Okay, you're going to go up to the perineum because you're at your feet now. So at the base of the spine, I want you to visualize creating a very healing closure to the body there. Okay, very healing that the vortex that we pulled out. You're just going to heal with white light at the perineum. And we are now lowering the pillar of white light down the body, all the way down to the center of the earth. Go ahead and anchor your pillar of white light in the center of the earth. So what you look like right now, you have activated the body at the 8th dimension, at the 11th dimension. So now that you're here, I want you to begin to tap into your higher self. Okay? And we are going to run energy through the body. So I want you to visualize a powerful green light coming up into the center vortex of your body. That gold light coming in from the crown and mixing with the green light. We're going to send it down to the center of the earth, anchoring. Breathing, breathing deeply. Now that we have cleared the multidimensional body, we can move this healing energy through the body, very nurturing yin energy. And it's when we're in this creative energy that we can then tap into that higher self. So as we anchor that green and gold light down to earth, we're going to send it up into the crown. And I want you to push out anything that doesn't serve you out from the higher levels. And what we do is we clear out any cords that we have externally. So I want you to see in front of you all of the people, places, and things that you feel are toxic or have triggered toxic emotions within you over the past couple weeks. I want you to see them in front of you. Okay? You're going to see them in front of you in a crowd. All of these toxic things in front of you that are perceived toxic for you, that have triggered and caused pain and suffering. And we're going to reset what we're throwing back at each other. So you're going to cut the cord on their end, and you're going to pull out the cord out of your body. So I want you to really notice where you're pulling that cord out from, and you're going to let that go completely. And as you do, you're going to inhale, taking back your life force into your body, breathing deeply. Very good. You guys are doing so amazing. So wonderful. Okay. Okay. The final step is taking that green and gold energy and feeding your body. So I want you to feel that green and gold energy coming into the pores, into the flesh, the muscles, the bones, down to the cellular level, down to the core. Go ahead and visualize that, absorbing it into the center of the body. Healing this beautiful vessel that works so hard in the physical and non-physical for us. Responding, reacting. Feeling complete love and complete compassion for this body. I want you to tap into that higher self. And you're going to begin to receive messages for you in this moment. What are the messages for you? I am going to tap into a collective vibrational frequency for all of us here on this earth that share this moment of co-creation, of vibrational frequency. As we look upon the earth from the highest dimensional plane, we now have the ability of seeing and speaking with one another through the mind, telepathically. So the invitation is from this moment on, from this opening of energy that's available to us, to begin to communicate at that level, to allow for ourselves to really listen to the emotions, to all of the non-verbal communications that are around us, to silence the mind, the monkey mind that wants to chatter and judge, that wants to feel fear or joy or excitement. We're going to silence that part of us so that we can listen to the non-verbal communication that is around us. Irenasa e forofly nini misnana gigafshnagarai dagaba is saravoy ifnailigiranana isna ishno o snais leading in bingara o firiach naralais nedia shnagrabrono of nagalai nedisni iris no ronai alai giachna ara O Ephraim Alaisa Sokorochnai Nishni Ladamaina Eochnavara Osnagalai Nisnigidianaishna A Ichnividi Snaganai Eofnaga Uorasnaga Ieshna O Inichni Nishnaga Ienai Ufnaga Ielasna I harano u I ishnigi I snaga orala I nai snigi. E abachna I snaga orana I snaga olai nigi sna. E ha I hona I sna I afnaga o shni I alai nigi sna. I achna burafna o shna. E fa krahna esna. Hokarasna iashna onamaisna iniyavana umanaisni uafna ufni ushnigiraga ufnaga shurachna ialai birasna iafra ianaihnim iasnaga orashna alaina tasna hirochna orasna uafnagai Firuf nagarais nagaralaina aishnaga urana iafna hokachna banasni iafna oshnigi oranaisni inavainigishnaga chikirach nigisna orana onashna. Allowing a moment of silence for you to absorb your vibrational frequency that's coming through at this time. I want you to allow your light language to emerge if it feels genuine and authentically coming through. As we activate the higher dimensions of this physical, non-physical body combined with the earth, we begin to open portal gateways of communication with our higher self that are more clear, more vibrant, more aware. The veils that are thinning allow for any kind of deception through our own self to begin to melt away, as this human experience that we're coming into allows us the ability to integrate now this future or more advanced aspect of ourselves. We do not merge with technology. This organic higher self that is here to embody our highest expression does not merge with technology. Pull away from that technology and come closer to the expression of creation that is within nature. That is your divine blueprint that you are activating within this time. And it's through that activation of that blueprint that you have the ability to navigate the higher realms of co-creation. Take a moment to embrace your ability to tap into the parts of you that are so deeply unknown that have been hidden for centuries. We call upon those parts of us to come fully integrated so that we may choose whether we wish to embody in this cyclical reincarnation cycle or decide to move forward into other expressions. Allow yourself the ability to integrate those truths. Allow the ability to connect to your highest expression and let it speak to you. Breathing deeply now. Integrate what you have received for yourself from your higher self. We're going to ground this now into the earth. You're going to open that root back into a balanced state. Open the sacral back into a balanced state, front and back. Open the solar, breathing deeply, anchoring everything that you have received in your body for yourself, through your highest expression. Going up into the heart, creating a balanced expression of your heart, throat, and third eye. Going up to the 8th chakra, activating the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and pulling in that pillar of white light through the body and anchoring it down to the center of the earth. As you allow yourself to sit for a moment, I want you to open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, you might feel a little bit dizzy from that moment. And I want you to just allow yourself to really powerfully ground yourself. So we're going to take some nice grounding breaths right now. And with every breath you take, you're going to visualize that you're pulling your white light. You're embodying that white light, okay? It's not going through you. It is you. You are that white light. So I want you to visualize that your body is solid and you're integrated with that truth that comes through, okay? I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure to work with you and to work through sometimes these very sensitive emotional parts of us. And I really invite you to take the time over these next couple of weeks to work on the parts that we've been running away from, because it's very easy in the time of craziness that we live in right now to try to check out in every possible way. So notice how you're wanting to check out, and gently, as if you're your own mother, a mother of that child that wants to run away, bring them back into this now so that they can feel safe going through that process, okay? So thank you so much. Love you all, and I will see you soon. Take care. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to all of you. Tivalejo, thank you so much. Tonantzin, thank you so much. Alex, great to see you. Luana, Genzi, Catherine, Elena, Sue, thank you so much. IB Mogles, hi. Ewell, much love to you. Thank you so much. Vanessa, thank you so much. Catherine, thank you so much for being here. Wow, I've been so into watching every detail of 3D breaking down that I feel like Lot's wife. Is that the lesson? Don't look back at Sodom and Gomorrah. Yes, there's a lot going on right now, and it really is changing and transforming. Thank you so much, Enoch. Thank you, Catherine. Love you too. And Pono, much love to you. Thank you for being here. Serena, oh, so good. Let's connect. I will respond to you right after this. That's wonderful. Thank you for your email. Vanessa, Pilar, so good to see you. Liz, I miss seeing you guys as well. Corey, Tamana, so good to see you. Spella, all of you guys, change how you eat. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are having an empowering day, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you, Yannick, Catherine, Jen, Danae. Take care.